All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Baal Shem, Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the hopeful elect, pushing out this word in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Dequar from the DC camp. Coming back at you with a quick lesson. I'm entitled this, The Latter is Greater Than the First. And I was just, something quick, I was just dwelling on it, how, you know, we had our glory in the beginning, in the former days, but this shall be greater than that. All right, and I'm talking about from the time of Adam, and then in the time of Jacob. You know, but the time that's coming is going to be greater than that. And I just got a few scriptures, just a couple, just to further hammer down the point. And I'm gonna start from Haggai 2 verse 1. It says, "In the 7th month, in the 1 and 20th day of the month, came the word of Yahweh by the prophet Haggai, saying, Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Josedek, the high priest, and to the residue of the people, saying, Who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? And how do ye see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing?" Yeah, talking about the temple, man. You know, whether it be Solomon's temple, any of the temples. Okay, and guess what? House also is a synonym for the word family. All right. So who saw in this former glory, which it was still glorious, you know? Because when we followed the ways of the Lord, we was put above all the people of the earth, man. And they all looked after us at one point, especially with Solomon and all his wisdom. All right, even the Queen Sheba, she had to give it up for him. You know how much wisdom he had. That the Lord, he had favor with the Lord. It says, I keep going. It says, "And how do ye see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith Yahweh, and be strong, O Joshua, son of Josedek, the high priest, and be strong, all ye people of the land, saith Yahweh, and work, for I am with you, saith Yahweh of hosts." Right. You know, yeah, right now we don't seem as we down, you know, but the Lord saying be strong because he is with us, man. And you got to keep that in mind. It says, according to the world, so like according to the word that I covenanted with you when ye came out of Egypt, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear not. And that's another thing, you know, that we're gonna get into, which was the covenant, man. All right. Yeah, fear ye not. That's what he's saying, because he's still with us, man. Because the Lord said he would never cast off his people. So, contrary to popular belief, the Lord, the Israelites are still here, which is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and he's still with you, man. You know, and for a moment, in his anger, he hid himself, but he would not keep his anger, or would not retain his anger forever, man. And all these other nations, they have no part in this, man. It says, verse 6, "For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith Yahweh of hosts." And he's talking about Israel, man. You know, and all these nations, they're gonna have to bring their riches into us, man. You know, after he shake this world up, man, because the heathens, they imagine a vain thing, man. They think that there's going to be some sort of one world government, or that their power structure is going to rule. But the Lord going to shake things back into order, man. Just wait until after this. We got to go through the straight gate first to get to this broad city. It says, verse 8, "The silver is mine and the gold is mine, saith Yahweh of hosts." So everything really belongs to the Lord, and he's going to restore it back unto us. Verse 9, it says, "The glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former, saith Yahweh of hosts, and in this place will I give peace, saith Yahweh of hosts." Yeah, in this place will we give peace, you know, which that's what Solomon's name means. All right. And we had peace for 40 years when he reigned, but that was it. But in the coming kingdom, which you know, who Solomon is, Yahweh Shai, and his kingdom, we're going to have peace forever, man. You know? Based upon the better covenants. So let me get this. Hebrews 8. And all right. I'm going to start from verse 6. It says, but now have he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better. Matter of fact, before I get that, let me get this. 2 Corinthians. So, 2 Corinthians 3. And, 6. It says, who also have made us. All right. This is 2 Corinthians 3, verse 3. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Mashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust have we through Hamashiach to Godward. Right, because the first covenants, which we was given in the law, all right, it was written on stone, you know? But this one is going to be written in our hearts, man. It says, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of the Most High, who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament, or New Covenant, because they go hand in hand, not of the letter, but of the Spirit. For the letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life. Because the first covenant, well, of course we couldn't keep it, you know, and we was under the curse of death, man, you know. But this one, we're not going to die. It says, but if the ministration of death written and engraven in stones was glorious, because there was glorious, man, it put us above all the other nations, you know, according to Deuteronomy. All right. Then so it says, if that was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away. So, yeah, when Moses came down, his face, it shined, man, because of that glory, man. You know, giving these words, because the law is still holy, man. And they couldn't behold his face. He had to have that veil. But that was to be done away, because we couldn't keep it. Why? Because it's a new covenant. It says, where am I at? Yeah, it says, verse 8, how shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious? For if the ministration of condemnation be glory, such more doth the ministration of righteousness exceed in glory. So this new covenant exceeds in that glory, man. You know, because this administration of righteousness is through faith we get in this covenant, man. You know, it's beginning with the elect. But the first one, we fell under condemnation to it, man. Because whoever didn't keep it was to die. Moses said he set before us life and death. All right. All right. Now we getting life. All right. It says, verse 10. For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect, by reason of the glory that excelleth. You know, in this respect, when being compared to this one, man, what's coming? It says, for if that which is done away was glorious, much more that which remaineth is glorious. All right. Now let me jump back to Hebrews 8. This is Hebrews 8 in verse. Let me see. I'm going to start from verse 6. But now he have attained a more excellent ministry. There you go, that word excellency again. By how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. All right. So he's the mediator of, it says, more excellent ministry. Okay. which he's the mediator of a better covenant, man. So it's a better covenant and was established upon better promises, man. You know, which we're gonna live forever, man. You know, and we're not gonna have to teach our people anymore, man, from the least to the greatest of us. You know, and we should never go into captivity again, man, because we're not gonna break these laws. We're never gonna be cast out again. Yeah, verse 7, it says, "For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." Yeah, so it said if the first covenant had been faultless, which the covenant or the laws itself wasn't faultless, but it said find the fault with them in the 8th verse, man, because we weren't perfect. But now we're going to be made perfect, man. And that's why the Lord had to come. All right. And he said he had to make a new covenant with the house of who? Israel, and with the house of Judah. So it's not for anybody else, man. Verse 9, it says, "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant." Yeah, because, hey, when he took us out of Egypt and he gave us the covenant, we didn't keep it. We went according to our own mind. But when he write these laws in our inward parts, we're not going to go according to our own minds anymore. It says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know ye the Lord, for they shall all know me, for all shall know me, from the least unto the greatest." See? Exactly what I just said, man. So I don't need to break that down again. And this is talking specifically about Israel, and this is the New Testament, so I don't know what the fuck everybody else is talking about, man. Excuse my language. It says, "For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more." Right. Because, hey, this is that better covenant. It says, "In that he saith a new covenant, he have made, the first is old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away," man. It's only going to be under this new covenant, man. You know, where we have posterity, man. All right. And then since he mentioned Egypt, let me get this scripture. Because even our salvation out of this place is going to be glorious, man. It's going to be better. Yeah. This is Jeremiah 16, verse 14. It says, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh," or I should have said, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, but that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers." All right, and when he bring us again, we never going to be casted out again. But it says no more going to be said that Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of the land of Egypt. All right, so that's, you know how great that story is. We talking about it thousands and thousands of years later, man. All right, but what's going to happen now is going to be talked about forever, man. All right, forever and ever. You know, I mean, that's going to be talked about still, but this is going to be even greater, man. This deliverance that we're going to have is going to be even greater, well known. You know, everybody going to know it to be true. Okay. All right, now I didn't want to make this too long, so I'm going to grab a couple more, and I'm going to close. This is 1 Corinthians 15. And I'll mention Adam, man, because, you know, when we first had it, or paradise even, you know, we didn't keep it. We came into death, man. But this is not going to happen this time. Oh wait, where should I start? I'm gonna just get to the point because I wanted to get a little more, but I'm gonna start from verse 43, or I'm starting from verse 42. It says, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 42, it says, so also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption. Right, because we were sown in corruption with Adam, you know, when he sinned, but we're going to be raised in incorruption, man, you know, which means you ain't going to die, you know, because when you in corruption, that means you're going to see the grave, man, like David said. It says, it is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power, man. Because we've been sown into this flesh, man. You know, where we able to die and decay. You know, but we're going to be raised in power, man. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. All right. You know, howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthy. The second man is of the Lord, is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. That's why we was all man, you know. And as in the heavenly, such as they are also that are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed. And in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. See, and that's what's going to happen. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall we be brought to pass. Then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. All right. And then we getting that we being born of the Spirit now. And then when he comes back again, he's going to raise us into incorruption, man, when we shall be changed, man. And that was that was better than the first, man. When we first, because, you know, hey, he got when the spirit of life was blown into him. That's when we got the laws. That time it was oral. All right. But this time we're going to be raised incorruptible, you know. Why? Because it's going to be written in our inward parts, like we already read. Now let's jump back to the temple real quick. Same thing. They all go hand in hand, man. Because the temple is where the Lord dwells. All right. This is Revelation 3. In verse 12, it says, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. All right. Now, pillars, and we're going to be pillars in the temple, man, where we should go no more out, man. We're not going to be broken down. The temple's not going to be destroyed. You know, he's going to dwell amongst us forever, man. Now, let me look up the part where it says New Jerusalem and new name, man. Let's just look up that word new. So you get an understanding. The word is kainos, right? It says as respects new, as respects form, recently made, fresh, recent, unused, unworn, as respects of substance of a new kind, unprecedented, novel, uncommon, and unheard of, right? Okay, that's not what I wanted. So remember, this is Revelation 3 and 12, right? Here we go. You see it right here. So it's this one. It says new, which as recently made is superior to to what it succeeds, man. You know? So the new Jerusalem that's coming down is going to be superior to the old Jerusalem, man. To that which it succeeds, man. Once we going to go up into the clouds and be changed, then we're going to come down this new Jerusalem, man. And we're going to rule the earth, man, in righteousness forever and ever. All right? So, like the title says, the latter is greater than the first. Okay? So with that, Lord willing, it was edifying. Until the next lesson, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I want to say